In today's video, my dear viewers, I'm gonna give you a lot more information about something called intermittent fasting, melatonin, and the insulin problems, especially how insomnia can cause that you have insulin problem and diabetes. That is very important for you to know. At the end of the show, I'm going to give you a couple more information about best natural remedies that can help you not get any diabetes on pre-diabetes. That is very important, especially in today's modern world. Melatonin is the hormone responsible for regulating the cycle of the sleep and wakefulness. Known as circadian rhythm, melatonin is produced by pineal gland, a small gland located in the brain, more precisely in the middle of the head, near hypothalamus and thalamus. Although it is small, it plays a significant role in the regulation of various bodily functions, including the control of the sleep-wake cycle. This gland reacts to the light signals it receives from the environment, so the production of melatonin increases during the night when it is dark, which promotes sleep, and decreases during the day when it's light, which promotes alertness. This is why the pineal gland play an important role in the regulating our internal biological clock. Right now we are in the midst of epidemic of diabetes and insomnia and many other diseases. We are sicker and sicker each day, and that's why it's so important for you to know this special regulation that can help you not get any kind of diabetes. That's why, also of course insomnia, and this is why intermittent fasting play a big role in all of those conditions. The pineal gland has many other functions that are still under investigation, including a possible role in the regulation of reproductive functions, the immune system, and the aging of the organism. While I'm mentioning epiphysis and melatonin, before I started seriously applying daily fasting, I often had problems with the quality sleep. I used to find the reasons for the poor sleeping into too much work, stress, late nights, too much time spent in the front of the screen. It never occurred to me that sleep problems could be deeply related to our diet. But back to the melatonin. The normal functions of the melatonin is related to healthy sexual functions. It is a hormone that has strong anti-cancer and anti-inflammatory effect. It reduces the level of cortisol, the stress hormone. And we right now in the middle of this midst of unbelievably a lot of people that have insomnia, also in diabetes, because our insulin doesn't work at all properly. How are you feeling, my dear viewers, when you sleep regularly perfectly? Please comment below. Also, please comment below everyone who suffers with insomnia. How are you feeling each day? Please, this is also important. Furthermore, it stimulates the production of human growth hormone, controls the synthesis of testosterone, and improves mood. Melatonin protects the brain from the damage caused by neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease, supports the health of the heart and the blood vessel, regulates body temperature. In short, a very powerful hormone. It is important to know that melatonin is secreted the most while we sleep. If we suffer from insomnia, the production of melatonin decreases, which endangers overall health. This is unbelievably important information, my dear viewers. In today's modern world, with depleting melatonin levels in our body, this is especially because we have insomnia. We have insomnia because of poor diet, or medication, of the stress, or whatever. If our melatonin is not on a good quality level each day, we endanger ourselves of every of these modern diseases, even the cancer, diabetes, heart stroke, weight gain, and much more. That is unbelievably important for the modern world. That's why we need sleep regularly, at least 6 to 7 hours each day, and in this way we protect ourselves from many diseases. Melatonin had a lot in common with insulin. While melatonin rises during sleep, insulin levels falls. In other words, a high level of melatonin directly affects the reduction of insulin. As I mentioned, while we sleep, we are in fasting phase. The insulin level is the falling, blood sugar is stabilizing. This process continues until you eat the first meal, when the insulin level begins to rise again. Now we come to the problem caused by insomnia. In insomnia, the melatonin level does not rise at the pace it should. insulin does not decrease during the night, which in other words that we are subject to my higher risk of the diabetes, and that is the most important thing for today's episode. My dear viewers, because you don't have a lot melatonin in your body, your insulin level is not going low as it should be, and that's why you endanger yourself, especially after 40-50 years old. If you don't sleep each day as you should, you get yourself in the position to get diabetes, and this is a part that you don't understand. No one talks about it, and that is also I'm here for you to help with all those problems. Before we continue with the show, everything about intermittent fasting, I was reading in my first book that is called Intermittent Fasting, The Secrets of Health and Longevity. This book is going to help you a lot to understand everything about intermittent fasting. Right now it's available down below on my web shop. On creation, of course, in the English, German, and the Polish language, everything is here. The description is below the video. And if you want to learn how to practice intermittent fasting, reduce risk of diabetes, heart attack, cancer, and much more, you will find it in my book. To make matters worse, the insulin secretion during the night does not give the pancreas chance to recover. If insomnia lasts for the weeks or months, there is a real danger that at some point we will develop insulin resistance and diabetes. Also, melatonin is closely related to the estrogen production. Estrogen is a hormone required for the production of serotonin. What is serotonin? It is a type of chemical that acts as neurotransmitter, meaning it helps send signals from one area of the brain to another. The chemical name of serotonin is 5-hydroxytryptamine, or sometimes called 5-HTP. As a neurotransmitter, serotonin controls neuronal activity and plays a wide range of neurophysiological processes. Serotonin is the hormone that helps us to feel better, to feel happy, to feel joy each day. If we don't have melatonin, we don't have estrogen in the level that it should be, and we also don't have serotonin. That's why we feel unbelievably not great, poor, tired after we don't sleep, especially if we don't sleep for a couple of days or, God forbid, couple of weeks. Only 2% of serotonin in the body found in the brain, and 95% is produced in the gut. In the brain, it acts like a neurotransmitter, sending chemical messages or signals to the brain to regulate motor function, pain perception, and appetite. It also modulates various biological processes, including cardiovascular function, elevated balance, digestive functions, and the mood regulation. Serotonin is a byproduct of tryptophan, as essential amino acid known for its ability to naturally regulate mood and the balance hormones. Tryptophan is converted into serotonin in the brain and gives you access to other essential amino acids that help control our mood and reduce the production of the stress hormone. In the short, this means if you sleep regularly, you feel better, you will have better chance to be in the better immunity, you feel much better, you reduce risk of many diseases of the modern world. That's why it's so important to sleep each day for regulate hormones like insulin, estrogen, and much more. Increasing serotonin levels can act as natural remedy for depression and improve our overall mood. To make serotonin easier to understand, well, call it happiness neurotransmitter. It is especially important for the woman in menopause, in which the level of estrogen and thus the production of serotonin decreases. To make matters worse, low serotonin levels also mean low melatonin levels. This, of course, means more stress, depression, mood disorder, and insomnia. This complication, a highly sensitive system of the hormone function, can be significantly stabilized but when we do intermittent fasting. That's why intermittent fasting is the key for everything. Key for the insulin, key for the estrogen, key for the mood, key for the serotonin, much more. That's why I was reading in my first book about intermittent fasting, because it's the perfect diet. It's recommended almost every month to improve health and also regulate any kind of bodily functions in a very natural way. But unfortunately, in today's modern world, not a lot of you pay attention to this. Follow me. Here's some more important information. There is strong connection between melatonin and cortisol, one of the main stress hormones. In our body, there is an internal struggle between those two hormones. During the night, if we sleep soundly and well, the level of melatonin increases and cortisol decreases. With quality sleep, the body recovers and we feel fresh in the early morning hour and rested. On the other hand, if we suffer from insomnia, which we have all experienced at least few times in our lives, in the morning after we waking up, feeling very bad and without energy. Those situations are not a problem as long as insomnia is rare. However, if it's repeated and lasts for the weeks and the months, you become a very serious problems. In today's modern world, of course, as I said before, eating habits, a lot of chemical pills that you eat each day, also watching sedentary life and watching a lot of monitors, cell phones, I don't know, televisions or whatever, most of the day, it decreases your melatonin level, and that is unbelievably important. And for the last part of the show, I'm going to tell you chronic insomnia is a problem that occurs in the large number of the middle-aged people. Now, it is caused by many problems, especially if you suffer from chronic stress, anxiety, depression, or if I say you take certain medication. Regular fasting has solved my sleep problems, and I highly recommend it to you. We really need the sleep to regenerate and restore energy, and thus to improve general health. What natural remedies prevent diabetes? These are grapeseed extract, Ceylon cinnamon, 1 to 2 small tablespoons per day, Genema sylvester, silver silkworm, the sugar destroyed, start with 100 milligrams once a day, then gradually increase 4 times a day. And my last recommendation, if you want to prevent diabetes, of course, practicing intermittent fasting. That is going to be best way. Also, I'm going to recommend you to buy something called chromium picolinate. That is unbelievably important mineral for the preventing for diabetes. For the day show, is unbelievably important. And this very good connection between insomnia, melatonin, insulin, and other stress hormone like cortisol. If we practice intermittent fasting, everything will be in much better situation. That's why I'm going to recommend you buy my book. You will find a lot more information how you get better. If you have any kind of information how you sleep good quality each day, please comment below. Everyone wants to know, of course, your suggestion, because we live in the world that many of us suffering from the insomnia. Also, I'm going to recommend you to watch this video right here. This is unbelievably important information that I was making in my YouTube channel about how you prevent insomnia in a very natural way. My dear followers, if you don't already subscribe to my channel, please down below subscribe, click notification button, and this and many other information you will receive each day from me on my channel.